travelling for 16 hours yesterday, a lot of that time in 40-degree plus heat and pushing through sand, the spot I was contemplating on riding through next, the Big Desert, I gather it would be very hot and very sandy. It didn't seem so appealing, especially that the forecast was for hotter conditions today. So, change of plans. I thought I'd go check out Grampians National Park. With lots of trees and a higher altitude, I was hoping it would be cooler too. So instead of taking a right for the Big Desert, I continued heading south through what seemed to be the wheat belt. Lots of small little towns and grain silos every 5 kilometres. Some of the grain silos have quite impressive artwork on them. I think there is actually a route called Silo Art Trail. You can follow it to check them all out. There are literally mountains of grain under those tarps. I pulled in to fill up the bike and myself. It's really hot today. Temperature's been around 44 to 45 on the temperature gauge. So probably a good thing I didn't go to the Big Desert. Not just the sand, but that sort of heat, trying to push a bike if it was a lot of sand. Yeah, so into the mountains. Well, a mountain range. Hopefully it's a lot cooler. I have enough fuel to get me basically anywhere now, so I just need some water. That should be good. I've only got an hour more in this heat, so yeah. I would love to be able to take the jacket off, but safety reasons can't. But I did unzip it and it didn't really make much difference. My jacket actually does let air through, so yeah, it's just hot. Unless you're in a car in air conditioning. One of the joys of riding bikes in the heat. There are some big windmills over there. It's a rather large wind farm. Then my first look at the Grampians. Okay, you may need to squint your eyes to see it, but trust me, they are over there. There was a lot of harvesting going on, with a lot of grain particles flying through the air like dust. I wasn't going to head to the main tourist spot of the Grampians. I'd spotted some dirt tracks on the map on the west side that would probably be a lot more fun to ride. And there was my first dirt track. Things were looking good. Known as the Grampians, it is made up of a series of low-angle sandstone ridges running roughly north to south. As I got closer, I would get glimpses of the range. I made a left-hand turn off the well-maintained dirt road onto four-wheel drive track. It should get a little more interesting from here and a lot more fun. And indeed it did. Large rock slabs, lots of loose rocks. I picked my line through it all. I was way more comfortable on this type of terrain than the sand of yesterday. I'd then get onto sections of smooth trail, then back into the rocky sections or gullies or small stream crossings. I was having a ball picking my way through. This kind of riding is a lot of fun.
I've had to stop because apparently my phone, which has got the navigation on, doesn't like temperatures over 44 degrees. So it's telling me I need to stop and wait till it cools down. So I might get some water and do that. Flies, always flies. Phone's back with us, not too far.
I finally came across the spot I wanted to camp at, and it didn't disappoint.
Finally made it the camp spot, and the view's not too bad at all. I think that's the trail I came in on. I'm not sure, I think it is. So time to set up camp, which is just the tent. And I think I better watch out for snakes around here too, just with all the little crevices. And again, another national park, and there's nobody around. No idea what's going on. But I will enjoy the breeze that's blowing up here, finally cooling down. And then yeah, wait for sunset.
I was on the western side of the mountain range, which was a lot less frequented by people due to what the average person might call difficult access. But I think it's totally worth the effort. I grabbed my EPIRB as I explored the rocky cliffs. It would be easy to fall into one of these gaps between the rocks. I didn't want to end up like the guy from the movie 127 Hours.
Yesterday's decision to leave and ride into the night, I believe now, was the best one, because the engine oil when I got back was right at the bottom level, and riding through the night it was cooler, so it didn't burn as much oil trying to get through the sand. If I'd left it till today, it's been, as you see, 44 degrees, but even in the morning at 8 o'clock it was 38. And that probably would have, same issue, going slow, heated the engine, burnt more oil, so I could have been in trouble. Well, just a longer walk in the heat. So I'm glad I left in the middle of the night, although it took a while. But today, a lot of fun. Trail's a bit rocky, but I'm a lot more adept at the rocks and the sand. As I said before, I'll have to do some sand riding. I just don't know if it's a bike, but probably just me, yeah. Lots of dragonflies. Well, time to probably get into bed, and tomorrow, Great Ocean Road into Torquay. Sounds like a good plan. Early this morning, just as the sun's about to come up, and the Grampians have put on a bit more colour.
I packed the tent and then got on my bike to make my way down the trail. With the sun in my eyes, it was difficult to see the trail in parts, but still a great trail to be riding.
pulled over as I'd been riding in just a t-shirt as it was already hot. But getting onto the tarmac, I needed to put my jacket back on as I'd be going a lot faster. It was still early, so I thought I'd check out the main lookout of the Grampians. Hopefully the crowd wouldn't be there just yet. The light was a bit harsh right now, but I bet this place would be stunning at first and last light. So I made it to the lookout, and when this is busy, I gather it's really busy, because this is normally the view that most tourists and tourist bus ends up taking. It's beautiful, and this is the little ledge here that all the Instagrammers want to make themselves look cool on, as if they're hanging precariously over the ledge, which they are a bit, but getting over the safety railing first. I got back onto the road again and headed towards Hall's Gap. But I saw a road to the right, so I pulled over to check it out on the map. It looked like a fun road, so I took the turn to Silverband Falls. It seemed there'd been a fire through here not too long ago, but it seemed the undergrowth had started to bounce back. I then spotted a sign that said one way, and the next sign said Pindy Road 5 kilometres. This could be fun. So I made it down to the lake that we saw from the last lookout. Coming down that one-way 5k windy little road, pretty good. I was a bit suspicious coming around each corner at the beginning going, is this really one way? But it couldn't have been two ways when it was that tight. But yeah, this lake's quite spectacular. Wrong time of day to shoot it, it's just too glary, sun's in the wrong spot and everything. But still, gorgeous looking lake. Alright, so I think the next bit's going to be a couple of hours long haul till we get to the coast at around Warrnambool. Not exactly sure if I'm going to go into Warrnambool, but then yeah, along the Great Ocean Road, see how that goes. I picked the route through the farm roads, or B roads, rather than the main road, as there would be a lot less traffic. I got back onto the main road, and of course, a lot more traffic. I rode through the town of Warrnambool to get to the turnoff for the Great Ocean Road. With a dairy facility this big, I'm sure we might come across a cow or two. There are the cows. And more cows. The first spot I'd check out would be the Bay of Islands. And then reality struck. I was back near a large population centre, being Melbourne, with easy access to the Great Ocean Road, and it being so beautiful, there was going to be crowds.
but the coastline definitely makes up for dealing with the crowds. I pushed on to check out the next spot, London Bridge. It's crazy how straight the sides of these cliffs are. Back on the bike and on to the next spot. The temporary fencing here was worrying me as I headed towards the 12 Apostles. I pulled into the car park and there were hundreds of cars, buses and helicopters. Well, there was only one thing to do, and that was to get the hell out of there. I'd seen them years ago, so I wasn't missing out. It's just a fact of life. When something becomes popular with easy access, you're going to get a lot of people wanting to check it out. So my advice is to come here early morning or late evening in winter. The low light would be great, and you'll have a lot less people, or you may get lucky and be here on your own. I've just pulled over here because as I was riding along, the chain started to get really noisy again, and I was looking for trees. It actually took a while. There are no trees along the coast road. So the chain's tightened up again. There's a section that's really tight. It is, at the end of its life, it's done 15,000 Ks. So I'm going to adjust and then lubricate it, and hopefully it'll allow me to get the last 150, 200 Ks to Torquay to get a new one. Hopefully. Now that's done, it's back on the road. The next section of the Great Ocean Road was awesome. Lots of flying corners into tight turns and occasionally stunning views of the ocean. Made it to Apollo Bay, which is the start of the road hugging the coastline. It is summer, so most of Melbourne is down here at the beaches. Now there's a room with a view. I finally made it to Torquay, the town that helped create the surf industry. Woo. I made it to my friend's place. I might be lucky and get to sleep on a real bed tonight.